Happy Monday. Today is Versus. We're talking Moana. Is Disney live action dead? And the Odyssey opens this week. And there's a lot to discuss. Let's bring on the panel.
This is Film Threat!
Yeah.
Wow. Where do we get that clip from the Odyssey?
Yeah, no, I don't think that's
Right.
I don't think that's the Odyssey, but everyone say hi as we start the show. Intro yourselves and your channel.
Angry Badger, looking forward to all the fun we're going to have today. And Badgercast afterwards.
Hello, I'm Nerd Cookies here on YouTube. Glad to be here.
I love the bust. That's great.
Very busty.
I've been busted.
Blaine from Criticless.com and Criticless Cast. Glad to be back.
Steph, my nerdy home. Happy to talk about the flop that is Moana.
Yeah, Alan. Hey, if you check out Tom Cruise's X feed, I'm a digger.
What? Hey, okay. I don't know if you can talk about this, Alan. You went to a
I
special
talk very
event.
little about it. Yeah.
Okay, but you went to a special event. You met Tom Cruise. They showed you the trailer. Did you see it? And then you saw a conversation with Tom Cruise.
Yes, and I actually had a conversation with Tom Cruise, but which I'll share later. But did see the trailer, and it is the trailer we saw at CinemaCon.
So nothing.
So you have seen the trailer.
So I have seen the trailer,
Yeah.
and the trailer is out. We may or may not show it. We don't want to
It's
get
interesting.
Copyright struck.
But the biggest point they want to make was, they're very much into mystery and that they don't like trailers that give too much away. And so I think this trailer qualifies for that.
Yeah. Let's say hi to the people. We've got Andrew Cram gifted. Holy cow.
Wow.
20 Film Threat memberships.
Look at that. Well done.
Starting
That's
right.
amazing. Appreciate that. And then also, I want to share and let people know and remind you to go to shop.filmthreat.com before we start the show. We have summer style. We have Summerween style because your Spirit Halloween store is about 2 weeks from opening. Let's be honest. So go there, check that out. And we are very close, Alan, to how many?
169,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I think we've got
Nice.
only like 6,000 to go. We're trying to reach that milestone so we can chisel it here. And reminder, Alan and I will be at San Diego Comic-Con very shortly. We'll be at booth 1705 on Friday, July 24th, and on Saturday, the 25th, 11 to noon. Check it out. And we're doing a panel with some really great folks. Jim Agnew, friend of the show, Christopher Moonlight, April Wright, Joseph Kahn, filmmaker behind Ick, and he was just at Taylor Swift's wedding, which maybe he'll talk to us about it. And Robert Meyer Burnett. We're doing an indie filmmaker survival guide panel on Friday, July 24th at 12:30 p.m. in room 24 ABC at the San Diego Convention Center. So check that out and join us. Let's get into it. Alan, the box office.
Yeah, the box office.
I mean,
Hold on.
it's all good, man.
There we go.
You got
Okay,
it
there we
right
go.
here.
Yeah, here we go. This weekend, coming in at number one, who'da thunk? Disney's Moana. Then rounding.
Oh, wait a sec. Derek's here.
Yeah, Derek's here.
What's up, everybody?
Okay. Good to see you, man. Love the hat.
Hey, what's going on, man? Came in a little late. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to interrupt.
All good. Glad you're here. We're gonna have fun. Go ahead, Alan.
He just ruined the box office.
Nah,
Okay.
it's fine.
Coming in number two, Minions and Monsters. Toy Story 5 at 850 million, closing on $1 billion. Evil Dead Burn, Young Washington, The Invite jumps 712%. Obsession, Supergirl, Disclosure Day, Backrooms, and Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass.
Well, let's see this. Let's look at Moana. I posted over the weekend that looks like Moana's getting Supergirled. We can now use Supergirl as a verb. who got Supergirl. But
Yeah, couldn't
this is
break
not
100
good.
million over the weekend.
Wow.
It's not much more than Snow White
Yeesh.
if you compare it, Alan, and also
Right.
that's
And it's
only
nowhere
like-
near the original Moana opening weekend.
right, and this is only like what, about 6 million more than Supergirl. This has been, if I could sum it up for you, this is the summer of suck. Not only have the movies been disappointing, the box office has been lackluster for movies that should have performed. Everything from Mando and Grogu, Supergirl, Moana, Masters of the Universe. What have I gotten wrong? Anyone, please correct me.
Disclosure Day. That was another
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
Disclosure Day.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they're just all stacked on one on top of the other. It's like every week you got another, quote unquote big release, and they don't have room to breathe. So it's like, okay, after this, what are we getting next week? Oh, we're getting the Odyssey. And so, it's just one big movie release after another, and they're all stacking on top of each other. And people don't have that kind of money to just go to the box office every week to watch big movies. So I think they're all suffering.
especially movies that just aren't any good, because I used to actually look forward to going to the theater, going every week because there's a new movie coming out that I was really excited to see. But now it's just kind of like, yeah, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that, because the movies just aren't good, or it's just a prequel or a sequel to something that's already out there, or a remake like Moana.
And
I
I've
see
had
all
a
my
spate-
movies on Thursdays, and when the weekend comes, it's like I really don't want to watch anything. I don't want to go into a movie theater. There's nothing. I mean, Citizen Kane. I think Regal was putting out Citizen Kane. That was the only movie I thought was worth watching.
And then when you go to the movies, like, you want the full experience, right? You want to get the popcorn, you want to do all of that. So couple the movie ticket on top of the popcorn price, and you're going and seeing a really bad movie and paying a lot for it, and it's just not worth it anymore.
Well, let's ask this question. Is Disney live action dead? Are they gonna, what else is even left to remake at this point? Rapunzel.
They're doing
They
Tangled,
Tangled.
and they're doing Hercules. I think.
Bambi.
Yeah, I was about to say Hercules. They haven't done that yet.
You
Yeah.
could stop.
I think they're like in talks to do Hercules. It was on pause for a little bit, but then Lilo and Stitch came out, and that made $1 billion. They were just like, okay, well, let's just keep going, and they move forward with Tangled.
They'll probably get to Pocahontas. I'm trying to think of what else they haven't done. Hunchback. Have they done? They got lots to do. They got plenty of
plenty of films to ruin. Yeah,
It feels like they're flip flopping though. Like after Snow White's bomb, then I thought I heard that the Tangled thing wasn't moving forward.
It
But
wasn't.
then they have another
Oh, it
success like
is.
Lilo
no,
and Stitch.
they've cast the everyone.
Yeah, but it seems like they changed. Like the person reported to be cast as Rapunzel or whatever was not going to look like Rapunzel. And so it seems like, they're going to do it now, but the characters it'll probably be horrible, but at least the characters will look like the characters.
And
As
isn't
well.
Moana
And it's
3
like,
coming out?
I don't get why they don't just
announced
do
a
some
Moana
of
3.
these.
Yeah.
I don't get why they don't do some of these like under like scene, like Treasure Planet or something. Do these obscure movies that a lot of people missed that are cool as shit that like a whole new generation can see and would have not even known about.
Ooh,
Right,
Oh, that'd be
Titan AE was
awesome.
great.
Do the
Don't
Frog
go to that
Princess.
movie.
Give Tiana her time to shine.
Atlantis, the Lost Empire.
Right?
Black
Yeah.
Cauldron.
Things
I
that-
want to see Black Cauldron, man. Get that done.
Yeah.
Things that actually lend themselves to be seen in live act to justify the live action format, because I think another thing is you're basically they're calling it live action, but it's just a poorer version or a less good version
Lion
of,
King,
of
right?
an
Yeah.
animated version.
It's a photorealistic animated feature featuring real people.
and ends up
So
being
dull and so
I just-
lifeless.
Lifeless.
Yeah.
I think the live action, the big movie people are missing is Frozen. If Frozen is live action, I think that'll be a hit, even if it's bad, which it probably will be. But that one is popular and enough time has passed. The problem with Moana, they're being greedy. They did Moana 2, which
absolutely.
was a cobble together from a Disney Plus show, and it wasn't very good, and it overperformed. And they're just doing them too close, too back to back.
Yeah, let me give you the
I'm
next few live action Disney movies.
Let's
there's
hear
only
it.
there's only two. There's Tangled live action, and there's Lilo and Stitch 2.
Oh, that's right.
That's Disney. That's Disney live feature.
Which is weird because that one made $1 billion, but then like How to Train Your Dragon and this, and it seems like the critiques are the same. It's a 1-for-1. It's a 1-for-1, but doesn't have any of the charm of the original, and it just is coming across as a cheap money grab. But Lilo and
the
Stitch,
How
for some
to Train Your
reason,
Dragon
didn't.
was done in promotion with Epic Universe, so that
Right.
sort of like had a promotional aspect to it. And also, I don't think that like that How to Train Your Dragon wasn't as popular as all of these Disney movies. So it's kind of like you can actually, I don't want to say like say it's worth it to do a live action, but it's something that is different than the movies, because the movies just weren't as big as all of these Disney films. So it's like, okay, yeah, we can do a live action. And they did it how a lot of people are wanting these live actions to be a 1-for-1. Although they did change a lot of stuff, but it did come out in promotion with Epic Universe, so there was that attached to it as well.
I also think the character of Stitch plays better than a lot of other characters do in live action, because he's just, it's like it's Stitch in this real world. So it's not like you got to animate the entire world like with the Moana. You got to have all of this green screen and all of this stuff. You just had Stitch, and he was it. And that first trailer, that teaser where he's knocking over sandcastles and all that, man, people were going like, "Oh, I'm going to see this day one," because they love the character of Stitch. So I think that's the reason why Stitch.
Yeah, Stitch is still
Stitch
popular
is a very
character.
popular character.
Yeah, since he first premiered, in Lilo and Stitch, Stitch has always had popularity. People still buy Stitch merch. There's no doubt that movie was going to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
There's Stitch merch everywhere. I can tell you from shopping at Ross. There's a lot of Stitch merch, and it's not
Hot Topic.
It's not on clearance either. It's just full price.
Hot Topic has an entire shelf of Stitch stuff.
It's extremely popular.
I don't think Disney live action is dead. I do think they're going to be more careful about what to choose to make live action. It's going to be that not everything's a guaranteed. Kind of like the superhero genre is not a guarantee anymore of box office. I think this is between Snow White and this being a bomb. It's they're going to be just more careful. I do think when they get to a Frozen live action, which they will, that will be one of the that it'll be huge. Look, not for me, but it'll be huge, and Alan will love the music more than likely. So
Frozen's good. Yeah, music's good.
All right, let's pivot to a lot of stories we've got about the Odyssey. It's coming this week, but let's talk about Nerd Cookie's bust. Right here, you can bust your face, as did Elaine from Nerd Cookies here. Scene. I love this. It's kind of a sort of AR, like you take a picture of yourself and turn it into a bust, like from that era. Let me share a screen on the website. It's Face Your Fate photo generator. It's at faceyourfate.app. Just go to it right now. You can do it from your phone, and you can turn your face into a classic looking bust, which is accurate to the history, completely accurate to that era. So do it on your phone. So I think we all did it. I think everybody did. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, we all did it. We
did our homework, Mr. Gore.
Yes, look at this. There we go. Look at wow.
You turned out good.
That's amazing.
That looks good.
Look at this. Oh,
Blaine.
wow.
That looks really good.
That's a stud right there.
Oh, Steph. There you go.
Yep, there's
wow. I love how great everyone looks.
I'm slow and wait, hold on.
No! He doesn't have his homework ready.
What about you?
I wasn't
Alan?
ready, man.
Alan,
Yeah, hold on. I'll do it. Now.
Let's do it. Let me see. Okay, Alan.
No, I gotta actually do it.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, you guys. Anyways, the link is in the description. It would be a good time to do this, and we'll carry out the bit. Let's see. Let's watch Alan.
I don't know how to do it.
All right.
You
You guys do it.
I can't do it on the website. I have to do it on my phone.
Do it on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On your phone.
I don't have my phone in here.
I'll
'cause somebody
put the
gets
link.
upset when I-
I'll put the link in the. Everyone, just something to have fun with. Might be a good piece of news. A good piece of news here with the Odyssey, because a lot of the Odyssey news is all over the map.
Oh, there's DA.
There you
There you
go.
go.
Nice.
Oh,
The only
okay.
time you'll see
Oh,
me without my
look,
hat.
There
Look
we go. DA, let's go.
Wow.
Wow.
Heck yeah.
That is awesome. God, it really makes everyone look cool. I love it. I love
It'll
it.
look way cooler.
Where are you? Where are you, Alan? What are you doing?
I gotta do it. It's
All right. Well, here I did it. Look at this.
Look at your
very
hair.
regal.
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
I love that I got my hair right. That's cool. That's cool. All right, Alan, if you figure it out,
yeah, I'll get
we'll
it.
do it. It's all good. But
I
a
do.
lot of stories have dropped. Christopher Nolan says the Odyssey Backlash is irrelevant. Is it? Is it? We'll see what the box office has to say about that. I know that IMAX screenings and 70 millimeter screenings are packed, but other screenings of the movie you're able to get tickets fairly easily. Let's take a look at this story, and I have other related news items. If you would, Badger.
Yeah. So in an interview with The Telegraph, Nolan dismissed the pre-release controversy, saying debates happening before audiences see the film are always irrelevant because no one yet knows what the movie actually is. Nolan compared the situation to the criticism he faced when making his The Dark Knight trilogy. He said that after spending a decade dealing with strong fan opinions about Batman, he learned that a filmmaker cannot focus on outside noise and instead must create the strongest, most sincere interpretation possible, that it comes with the territory. What you have to do is honor the original text by interpreting it in the strongest way you personally can. Elon Musk became one of the loudest critics after reports that Lupita Nyong'o would play Helen of Troy. Musk wrote that Nolan had lost his integrity and later suggested the director was changing characters' races to win awards. Responding to complaints that the armor looked similar to Batman's suit, Nolan told Time that the design was based on historical theories about blackened bronze used in the Mycenaean era.
Well, what do you guys think of this? Is he brushing it off? Like, I mean, what can you say about this? There is a backlash if you pay attention to social media. If you go to a movie theater, is it going to matter? Are people going to get the popcorn buckets? There's an IMAX one, a Trojan horse bucket, which they're not cheap, by the way. How do you think this movie will perform? And does the backlash matter? And by the way, he's not wrong. He says here that there was a big backlash to, he spent 10 years dealing with Batman. Remember? So, and also he famously doesn't have a cell phone, doesn't have email. Is he just kind of in a bubble? And maybe that's also like a good strategy to just be in a bubble, ignore the noise, let the movie speak for itself.
I feel like they're not the same.
I was with a bunch of normies this weekend who are not in this world at all, and I was really interested, and so I kind of polled the audience. All of them knew about the negative buzz.
Oh,
everybody
wow.
did. And not only did they know about the negative buzz, all of them said that they had seen the trailers and it looked boring. That was the other thing that I heard from all of them. So, and that's kind of what a lot of us have been worried about too with seeing the trailers, is we're like, I haven't been like blown away by these trailers yet. So I was surprised, honestly. I was expecting all of them to be like, it's Nolan, it's going to be great. And everybody's like, I don't know, it doesn't look that great. So I was kind of surprised, to be honest.
It's an interesting thing with this because, he said it doesn't matter, but his interpretation doesn't honor the text. And that's what people have a problem with. Is that his interpretation does not honor the text. I mean, even the Greeks put out a whole letter to Christopher Nolan about it. And to just write that off as, it's just irrelevant, that is your audience. You are calling your audience irrelevant. What they think doesn't matter, because what matters is the creative process that I'm going through. And, my interpretation is the only thing that matters. And my vision is the only thing that matters. And that's great. But not when it comes at the cost of the Greek people who have an obvious problem with what you're doing. So I think that yes, he might be in a little bubble of his own, but at the same time, like he needs to kind of come out of it and really make a statement, because comic book fans are very different. Like that is something extremely different. It's not relatable to this at all. With this, you're insulting a whole nation of people. You know, it's not like just comic book fans who your interpretation is of Batman or the Joker is something that they didn't envision. Like this is something completely different.
Yeah.
I agree. There has to be. I agree with some of what Christopher Nolan said, that he did another interview on the Amy Poehler podcast, and I released a video talking about that and breaking it down, where he said that you can't beat people's expectations, but what you have to trust that what they want from you is your most sincere attempt to do justice to the material and to do that with seriousness and appreciation to the original text, but it has to be your own interpretation. So he was, and I understand that to a degree. I do get that you're coming at this from a director's standpoint and telling this story from a visual perspective and having to adapt to that. But there are clear creative liberties as well. And I always say that this is a balance between, we have to feel your sincere appreciation and respect for the source material, and we will allow for a certain measure of creative interpretation if we can feel that respect. And because at the end of the day, this movie would not exist without the author's work. This is their story, and I feel that they are more stewards of it. And yeah, I always say it's a balance between your interpretation, but the utmost respect should be towards the original source material.
That's how I feel about it. Exactly. Yeah. Fidelity to the source material to me is the number one thing. If it feels like this is paying like respect to Greek culture, Greek history, Greek mythology, you know, you can only subvert people's expectations so much. Like putting a rapper in this thing is just like, okay, all right, come on. What are we doing here? At some point in time, you've gone too far. You've gone so far off the reservation that it doesn't even feel like this is going to be the Odyssey. So I think that's the biggest problem. And to say that the backlash is irrelevant, well, they were the one locking the replies on their own Twitter X page. You know, they locked the replies. They've been hiding replies. So apparently the backlash is relevant to somebody because somebody went through the trouble of locking replies off. So it's like, okay, Chris, maybe you're in a bubble. Maybe you don't get it, but the backlash is here. And I absolutely believe it's 100% relevant. You know, take that for what it is.
And it's very interesting when you listen to all of the interviews, and it's more specifically like the women of the Odyssey giving their interviews and their little sound bites for social media. It's kind of interesting because you have Samantha Morton saying, like, talking about the vilification of women. You have Lupita Nyong'o kind of like saying, oh, well, I would kind of lecture Homer, you know, with that clip. Lecturing Homer. You have Anne Hathaway saying that, well, now Penelope is Odysseus' equal. Like, she loves what Christopher Nolan did with the script because she gives the women so much more time with the script. It kind of reads as the talks that they had with Christopher Nolan made it seem as if Homer didn't do the women justice, and now my interpretation is going to fix that. That's what these interviews sort of read to me.
Yeah, and it's apples and oranges. Problematic. It's apples and oranges, you know, with like The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger got announced and it was like, you mean the dude from Brokeback Mountain? That's just people not giving it a chance. But the Odyssey is different because it's based on very old, very known mythology. And it'd be one thing if he was doing like a Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, modern day,
right?
Like, and they keep trying to complain it, like, or compare it, like we don't know the fucking difference. But when you depict it as, oh, I'm going to make it so accurate to what like might actually have happened and then all practical, but then I'm going to switch up a bunch of the characters' looks, and again, not a Greek person in sight. Which obviously they don't all need to be Greek, but it's just seems like he's gone out of his way to do his own thing that does not actually honor the original.
Someone who's definitely not Greek is Alan Ng. It's not historically accurate.
Jump scare me.
Representation matters.
That was scary, Alan. Oh my God, that was great. But
you should put your Tom Cruise picture there too.
Yeah, you should. You should. And thank you for joining us, Robert Meyer Burnett. We're talking the Odyssey Backlash. Chris Nolan says it's irrelevant. I do think it's relevant. Blaine said he was talking to normie friends. They know about it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, have you looked at how many IMAX screenings are sold out and for how long?
Yeah, like weeks in advance.
In advance.
The IMAX.
Well, the IMAX 70 millimeter.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I'll admit that's a special screening, and people are eager for that.
Yeah,
it's all the other screens.
Well, I guess I don't really understand. I mean, as somebody who, I'm a fan of when directors take classical stories and reinterpret them, like Baz Luhrmann doing Romeo and Juliet, or like the Ian McKellen Richard III, which is amazing, set in World War II. Now is the winter of my discontent. And, a story like the Odyssey, since when has everybody turned on Christopher Nolan? Or as I like to call him, C-Note. I mean, he's taken a huge swing. What's that?
Pattern
Was it
recognition.
Tenet?
Well, the thing about Tenet is I didn't like Tenet. I didn't like the mechanics of time travel. It felt a little goofy to me, but it's certainly beautifally made. And it's a movie.
Tenet. I feel like I'm the only one.
Yeah.
I've returned to it over and over again, and I think we are conflating a couple of things. Like, to me, Christopher Nolan has earned my all the way back to Following. Following in Memento, when he first came on the scene. I hadn't seen Following yet. I saw it later when I got it on the Criterion disc that was put out. But I loved Memento. And then when he went on and did Insomnia, I'd seen the original version. And I thought, his Insomnia was great. And he proved that he could work for a studio. And then they gave him an impossible task, which was to reboot Batman after Batman and Robin. And he acquitted himself with much aplomb with that film. And I didn't think Batman Begins was perfect by any means. But his approach and seriousness with which he took on the material, and then after that, The Prestige, which was a literary adaptation, then The Dark Knight, and then Inception. I'm a huge fan of Christopher Nolan. I don't think he's as great. Like, I didn't love Interstellar as much as other people did, but I think he's one of our great filmmakers. He's got his own particular style, and just because he wanted to adapt the Odyssey, I don't care what he's doing until I've seen it. It piqued my interest, and I'm willing to sit down. And it's the first movie ever shot entirely in IMAX.
Yeah, 100%.
That's great. I mean, you bring up Baz Luhrmann, right? I love that version of Romeo and Juliet. That is a reinterpretation of it, and you can absolutely tell that is a reinterpretation.
Yeah.
Of it. Like that is something that is extremely different. It is set in the modern day, but they're still using that Shakespearean language. Like it is such a great film and an amazing interpretation. I think that a lot of people are looking at this in a different light and saying that, like, if he was doing something like that with the Odyssey, then that would be different. I don't think we'd be having these conversations. But he's gone out there and done all of these interviews, and I've watched almost every single one of them, saying how he wants to honor the text, how he's going the extra length to make sure that everything is accurate. And then you have these castings and you have all of these changes that he's making. So he's going out and saying one thing, but doing another. And I think that that's why a lot of people have issues with what he's doing with the Odyssey.
Yeah, like what do you always say, Rob? Authenticity is the currency of the day, and this doesn't feel authentic at all. This does not feel authentic to Greek mythology, Greek lore. What Homer was doing, he's kind of taking his own. He's doing parts of it, but then he's say, okay, we're gonna have Lupita as Helen of Troy. Like those types of things is what's rubbing people the wrong way, because it doesn't feel authentic to what we thought we were going to get an authentic retelling of Homer's The Odyssey, and it seems like everything but. So I think that's the big problem with the backlash. That's where the backlash is coming from mostly.
But I just see it as like it's Ray Harryhausen doing Jason and the Argonauts. It's a different. Homer's story was we don't even know. It's not like it's history.
Well, it is. That's what mythology is. It's a fantastical telling of known history. And this one is specifically for the Greeks because mythology and I think what people are picking up on is the fact that, boy, it just seems like people's culture are only important when it's not Western and or anything white adjacent. And then it's for everything. And why don't you just trust it? But if it's anything else,
well,
it's super, including Lupita admitting that she didn't do the Woman King because she didn't think she was right for the role and she wanted that mythology to be upheld. So it's just very interesting on what we have standards on.
But to be fair, the entire world itself was much smaller back then. And it's like we talk about the Greeks as if we knew them. And you're looking at thousands of years of previous history, and the Odyssey and the Iliad was an oral story that was passed down before it was ever written down.
And I do love oral, but it is still fucking the mythology of the Greeks. And we have genealogy. Yeah. We can absolutely tell what they look like, and I promise you they didn't look like Lupita. It's just years of this. We're all tired of it.
But I would have to say, if you look at the geography of the area of the world that we're discussing, yes, even the Greeks, I mean, you only have an interpretation of the world that was given to us by actually a small number of people that live there, sculptors and artists and things like that. It's not like we have all this video. And if you think about if you look at how close, say, Greece was to Africa,
you are fucking doing all the Olympics to get this.
I'm not doing all the Olympics. You guys are talking about it from 2,000 years into the future. And I'm just saying that this is a story that is fiction. It's always been fiction.
It is mythology, and there's a big difference between fiction and mythology.
Yeah. There is?
Don't you think
there's a big difference, because mythology is baked into someone's culture and someone's history. It's not just something they've just made up out of the top of the dome. Like mythology,
to give these arguments
Norse
on
mythology
other things.
is based on the people from that region, and you don't just kind of say, "Well, that's just fake." No, it's part of their culture, part of who they are.
I'm with you, but
so it's not just fiction. Like Black Panther is fiction.
But it is fiction. I mean, this is a story that has gods in it.
It is, but at the same time, it's baked deeply into the roots of a country and of a nation and of a people.
They also found the city of Troy.
It's their mythology, and I don't think you should just jump in and just say, "I'm gonna do whatever I want with it," because it didn't really happen. I don't think that's the approach that you take.
Wait a minute. Like, so we're being legalistic about something that happened 2,000 years ago that we have all we have is the remnants of history, and we're now calling on somebody.
Fiction is an expression of an idea, right? A mythology is an expression of culture. Right. That's the difference between the two.
Yeah, I can tell you, if you did this to the New Testament, to the life of Jesus, people would be up in arms.
Well, yeah, but that's because the New Testament is only one book, but we have many different interpretations of history.
Right, but you're not going to go around race swapping the one book.
Well, setting the fantastical elements of the story aside, was there a Troy? Was there a Trojan horse?
There was a Troy. They had found the city. It's been rebuilt 7 times. Okay. They found it, so it's real.
Because I know from hanging with Rob in Vegas, we've had fun or at Comic-Con, and some of the stories do get exaggerated, like the Wired Lounge at Comic-Con in San Diego.
That does not get exaggerated.
That it gets exaggerated.
No, it doesn't.
And I talked my way in like a Trojan horse many times at the Wired Lounge. But the one thing we can't deny is that the trailer comments are wild here. And someone decided to set them to music.
Wow.
I think it's worth listening to. There's Chris Nolan, and so these are the comments on the trailer that got ratioed set to music. Let's hear what it says.
The first time I've ever doubted a Nolan film, The Odyssey by Christopher Nolan. I wish it just stayed a concept. What it could have been will remain a lament. We once called you master, now we all expect disaster. I swear, this is an SNL skit. So please tell us, Nolan, what is this shit? British actors doing American accents in a Greek myth. Who Who knew ancient Greece looked so much like Los Angeles? If I saw this on a plane, I'd still walk out. I don't even want to watch this for free. The only good thing about this trailer is the comment section. The movie isn't even Odyssey anymore. It's just Nolan's Greek caricature for all Europeans with self-respect. This is a torture. My dad is coming home, and let's go in the most American accents. First time hearing dad in a historical epic film. A line that captures the spirit of Homer's work. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Cried Odysseus, for real, replied his crew. My dad is coming home. It's like I can actually hear Homer dictating the poem. You're pining for a daddy in a serious historical fantasy movie. All the rage and hate it gets needs to be tenfold. It's a front to one of the greatest stories ever told. One of the pillars for culture of West, spit on by Hollywood hacks that think they know best. I saw less mockery and caricature than in this butcher.
All right, we can listen to more of this. That's about half of
That's awesome.
that. Look, there is a backlash, but I would never bet against Nolan. I would just never bet against him. We can watch more of that in a bit, but any thoughts on this? The comments. Are people just having fun before they've seen the movie? Are they judging?
Look, I'm still going to walk into the movie with an open mind and just accept what the director gives me. I'm not going to, I have fun, dog walking on movies and all of that stuff in the pre-up. But when I walk into a theater, I really legitimately hope that I'm not wasting my time 2.5, 3 hours watching slop. So I go in with an open mind and hope that Chris Nolan is still Chris Nolan and doing his thing. I'm just going to say it's like, it's the first time I ever had like serious doubts because of everything that I'm seeing. But, we'll see. We'll see what we get.
Yeah, the American accents actually bother me more than people talking about the casting. Yeah. It's the accents. It just
and saying dad and
daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy.
It's just little things like that prevent immersion. And that I think ultimately that's what my biggest issue is so far in seeing what I've seen is I don't believe that I've escaped into another fantasy realm, which is what I wanted. That was just my preconceived expectations. Like when I watched Jason and the Argonauts and Clash of the Titans, the Harryhausen films, I feel like I'm in another universe and I want to see the characters live in that world. And that all adds up to like authenticity. And I don't want to have reminders that take me out of the story, out of this world. So
Elaine,
when I hear dad and when I hear
are you seeing it in IMAX?
Probably not. I don't know. I don't have my tickets yet, but we'll see.
I'm just gonna say it because they're gonna show the first 8 minutes of Dune 3 in front of it in IMAX, and you're gonna have such a physiological response to those 8 minutes. I can tell you that you're gonna be in a daze the entire 3 hours you watch the Odyssey.
It's
just
amazing.
Saying.
Dune Part 3 is mogging the Odyssey so hard, and Doomsday for that matter as well. So, but we haven't seen the trailer yet. Sure. But I'm just surprised that we're in this era where Dune is like. I don't know.
We told them that this would happen. 10 years of making characters gay who aren't gay and different ethnicities and pushing this fucking message. All it does is do a disservice to the very people. 10 years ago, people would not have had this reaction had we gotten a Lupita. We might have cocked an eyebrow, but let's see what he's doing. No one has patience for this shit anymore.
I agree with you 100%. But let me ask you a question. This is a real question. Okay. Is King Arthur real? Was he a real historical figure?
I actually do think there was a historical King Arthur. Yes.
Okay. There's no precedent. There's no evidence that there was a King Arthur that actually existed.
There is. What do you think Arthur was based on? With where they did it on what he was a former Roman legionnaire. Point is that all of this mythology is based in some form of fact,
like every
nation.
So my question, let me take it further. Mm-hmm. Did you guys like Excalibur?
Loved it. Epic.
I love it too. I mean, there is nothing in Excalibur that has any bearing on any physical reality that ever existed ever.
Do you really think these are comparable? Your example of Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet was my example of how these are not the same fucking thing. If this is modern day, no one would have said anything.
But I do think that something like Excalibur is equatable to this. because it's John Borman who is taking a myth about an area. That's actually a good point. He's taking a myth about England, which is a myth that is expanded, and many people have written all kinds. How many King Arthur movies have there been? A lot, and so from all different areas, and to look at a movie like the Odyssey, which we haven't really, there's a great Italian TV version of the Odyssey that was done, that I don't know if anyone's seen it, but it's I think it was from the 90s. But I mean, so it's a different take. Why don't we all wait till we see it?
I think it's just like Badger was saying, it's the continued exposure and like hypocrisy paired together from the same exact people over and over again. And that's the thing, is we've had like all this revisionist history stuff that's been building and building and building, and then the same exact people literally like saying the opposite of what they are promoting and things like this. And I think it's just this mass scale like hypocrisy of people being like, all right, we're kind of over it.
Or it's a filmmaker working with his company of players that he's working with again, like so many other filmmakers that keep hiring the same actors.
Two things could be true. He could be working with all his friends and still be doing a disservice to the material, whether he thinks it's for his own reasoning or not. Again, it's pattern recognition.
I bet you 10,000 more people read the Odyssey next month than have ever read it in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's great. But that still doesn't mean that he's doing service to, to this movie or to this to this mythology. That'd be great if people picked up the Odyssey and read it. That'd be awesome.
Likely,
But I mean,
if you really think
what does
about
that have to do with the fact that he miscast a lot of people in his movie?
I mean, if you really think about it, King Arthur could have been black.
All right.
Well,
I think
Morgan Freeman in Prince of Thieves and Robin Hood.
Right,
he wasn't King Arthur in that.
Yeah, well,
let's see how much of this more we can stand.
Of Greek literature. Now Spider-Man is really far from home. Spider-Man getting bullied at home. My dad is coming home. Dad's homecoming. Brand new dad. Odysseus will return in Avengers Doomsday. The plot involves Bruce Wayne mocking Peter Parker over the loss of his parents. I didn't know that Agamemnon was in a Batman uniform. Hollywood idiocy in its purest form. At least they nailed Odysseus' Boston accent. We have Greek Batman before GTA 6.
Oh my God.
Lived long enough to become the villain. Orchestras didn't exist. Here, have rap music instead. It's like Homer Simpson wrote the script. The Audacity by Homer Simpson. Christopher Nolan's new masterpiece, The Oddity, The Odyssey from Temu. You know, Telemachus, I'm something of an Odyssey myself. All the rage and hate it gets needs to be tenfold. It's a front to one of the greatest stories ever told. One of the pillars for culture of West, spit on by Hollywood hacks that think they know best. I saw less mockery and caricature than in this butchery of Greek literature. It's to meet the Spartans, but for Troy. Hollywood pigs using Greek culture as a toy. Nolan wants to humiliate us. Can't wait to see Ryan Gosling playing Martin Luther King. They even steal history. We are witnessing the destruction of culture in real time. It's not a film, it's a heinous crime. No Greeks were present in the filming of this movie. Let me tell you about your culture and why it includes me. You will call us racists, we know lines you will speak. You are the one who didn't cast a single Greek.
All right, we kind of get the idea that we'll have a link in the description to this. But
just one last thing, but that was also it's the depiction, right? Where he says, I want this to be as authentic as I can make it. No, he builds an animatronic it's going to be so accurate, but then the costumes look like Rings of Power level. They're not even whatever. He's got an example for that. And then trap music with Travis Scott, which I guarantee you he's going to be the narrator of the entire film. They don't match. Which one is it?
Why don't we wait to see it first?
Because this is our job to speculate and
based on what was
break down.
No, our job, we are film fans, aren't we? I mean, you have an A-list filmmaker giving us a movie.
So from now on, we shouldn't talk about a film at all.
I personally was pumped up for this, man. I couldn't wait until it came out, and now every little step of the way, it's just like it just keeps coming down and down and down. It's just lowering my expectations. I expected nothing but greatness from Chris Nolan. Working with the Odyssey classic, like let's go. Now it's like everything that they've said, everything that we've seen, it just lessens my enthusiasm. And so, as a pundit, as a film fan, I'm gonna talk about that.
But hasn't he earned the trust through his past work?
I'm going to talk negatively about this. Like I'm gonna say what I gotta say. That's what
it is, though. When it was first announced that Christopher Nolan was making the Odyssey, we all got truly excited about it. We could see the possibilities. The problem is what's been handed to us over the last few months. Just really, we have expectations in our minds as to how this will play out.
Had anybody thought about the Odyssey 4 years
Black
ago?
Athena? We all thought that Black Athena was a possibility.
You have a certain expectation of Chris Nolan. I mean, we've seen all of his work, so we know what Chris Nolan's capable of. That's the expectations I had. My expectations are up here. I don't have expectations down here for Chris. They're up here. And so if it's not meeting the expectations based on everything that I'm seeing, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say something about it.
I don't care what they told you in high school. Helen of Troy is black.
Well, I would assume all the gods of Olympus are black because they predated the Greeks.
I mean, this
those
marketing
are the
is
mental
to judge.
gymnastics we go through.
Those are not mental gymnastics. The gods have been here longer than we have.
Do you really think black people are the first people? What does that mean?
Well, I mean, Olduvai Gorge, Dr. Leakey, Africa is where humanity, the cradle of humanity.
Do you know what Africa looked like back then? Because it didn't look like the ecosphere it is now.
Yeah, but that's still where humanity was birthed. So,
okay, but then you're talking like Elon Musk is an African, like that type of thing?
No.
Because they did not all look like modern day black people.
I'm talking about, if we're talking about the gods of Olympus, and let's just assume they created humanity because they're the gods, whatever. They want to be worshipped. I saw that Star Trek episode, Who Mourns for Adonais. The ancient Greeks were the gods of Olympus, where he was a white dude. But, why wouldn't they be?
Well,
that was true. Then all the Greek gods should be black.
Well,
why aren't they?
Not just one.
But take Zendaya.
Is that what Homer wrote? Is that what you think was in Homer's mind's eye when he was writing that the Greek gods were all?
Well,
black?
no, because they didn't know where the cradle of humanity was.
I want to see what Homer saw in his mind's eye. That's what I'm interested in. I don't care what some weirdo interpretation of it is. I want to see what Homer thought, because this is Homer's story. It's not ours.
What do you think mitochondrial
and they were more
Eve
likely
like?
to be Asian than anything.
Black.
Yeah,
mitochondrial Eve was black.
No, because black people didn't exist in the way they do now back then, because the climate was completely fucking different.
But let me throw this
issue with Zendaya.
What?
But she looks.
What are you
Zendaya
talking
looks
about?
Like Dune Part 3. There's no style. This is, and that's my biggest issue. Zendaya's in it. She's playing Athena, but she looks like she's in Dune. She looks exactly the same almost. I don't believe that she is the way in the footage that we've seen her as Athena, the god of wisdom and war. She just looks like she walked off the set of Dune. And I wanted this to have its own unique style. I wanted to see color. I wanted to see, look at Dune Part 3. We actually have film grain, and there are shots that look like Technicolor. I thought that he would take this opportunity to experiment, not just with IMAX cameras, which, okay, that's great technical achievement, but I thought to experiment in other ways with this fantasy genre and to use modern techniques to really bring to life this fantasy tale. And there are things that keep preventing immersion for me, like little things like that I'm just seeing Zendaya. I'm just seeing Tom Holland. I'm not seeing the characters that they're supposed to embody. And at the end of the day, that's my biggest issue. I want this to be a fantastical story that in a world I can escape into. And so far, with anything I've seen, I'm not immersed yet.
Have you guys seen
that
this
could
movie?
be changed. That could be different when I see it. I don't know. We'll see.
Have you seen this? By the way, this is a brand new 4K release of one of the greatest movies ever made about a certain period of time, and it stars Charlton Heston as Judah Ben-Hur. I'm just saying that as somebody who grew up watching this film, I love this movie. This is one of the greatest accomplishments of cinema history. Charlton Heston not probably look like anybody who lived in the time that this movie was made.
But he probably looked closer than like a Sidney Poitier, which I'm sure you also would have loved. But let's not act like you don't understand what the issue is.
I would say that's probably not necessarily true because we don't know how many people lived in that area of the world and how they migrated.
I want to flip. They were more likely to look Asian than they.
But okay,
no, that was much further. Asia was much further away than Africa was. I mean, if you look at you look at the geography of that, it's very close.
This is so great. There's all road that connects Rome and Asia.
I'm gonna take this back to Moana for a moment.
There's a movie we should talk about.
Back to Moana. Variety posted this on X. Moana creatives on working closely to honor Polynesian culture and traditions and why representation matters in the live action film. And it got not only ratioed by me and among others, I said, now do the Odyssey, this you from Gary from Nerdrotic. Variety magazine has repeatedly criticized people pointing out the lack of Greek representation in the Odyssey, calling them trolls, culture warriors, and racists led to battle by their own personal Agamemnon, Elon Musk. Now, I have no problem with having seen Moana. Not a great movie. Didn't like it. Can't recommend it. However, I do like the fact that they are respectful of Polynesian culture. And I do think that makes a difference. And it is a fantasy story that takes place within a certain culture, and that culture is respected. So this story is from Variety. It's not much more in it than what we already know, but like you can't. This is very hypocritical. You can't say this and then criticize people who have a very valid criticism of the Odyssey for that representation. Am I wrong in this? Like,
no,
I want to get
not at all.
That's the point.
That this is closer to being Asian than the Odyssey.
Right. And I have no problem with this at all. This great Moana. I like that there was that kind of forethought. Why is it only with stories from Western culture?
Yeah.
Does
and
that
you know why?
Right.
Yes. Well, I want to hear what you guys say. Please jump in on this.
Because Western culture is supreme.
No. Well, we could have had this. We could have. Well, what do you guys think? I want to hear what you think of this.
I mean, you said it all already. I mean, it's a double standard. That's all it is. It's just a simple double standard. It's okay when they do it, but it's a problem when I do it. That's pretty much what it is. So everybody's playing fast and loose with European culture and European history. And I've heard people even say that there is no such thing as, European culture, like when, I talk about The Little Mermaid a lot, and it's like, it's a Danish fairy tale. And everybody's, but it's perfectly fine to just completely forget about the fact that it's a Danish fairy tale and just race swap people galore. Go ahead, have fun with The Little Mermaid, because there's no such thing as a mermaid at all. But it's like, but it was birthed in Denmark. So why can't it just stick to the roots of what Denmark did? And then the bigger problem that I have with this, is we have seen constant criticism of quote unquote whitewashing. Okay, you can go back over the last 10 years. I did a post where I talked about how people criticize Johnny Depp as Tonto. People criticized Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One. People criticized Scarlett Johansson as Motoko Kusanagi and Ghost in the Shell. People criticized it, all right? Whether you think that those are legitimate race swaps or not, there was plenty of criticism to go around. Everybody was slamming it. Okay, then I was under the impression that, we can't do this anymore. Now, it's perfectly fine to race swap Helen of Troy. Nobody cares. Nobody's crying about it. And I'm like, well, why was it okay to do these or to criticize those, but not this one? Why was it okay? And, people had a lot of answers and different, opinions on that, but that's the way I see it. It's like, if it's not okay to whitewash, then it's not okay to blackwash or any kind of washing. Just stick to the script. And if it's okay for them, if it's okay for Lupita, then it's okay for Johnny Depp.
Does it matter, like, if it's a really great actor that we all love? Like,
I mean, Johnny Depp's a really good actor. He's loved.
Like,
He's
like
loved.
Right.
Well, let's watch this for a second. I think it's dependent on the actor, right? Like
I didn't like Denzel in Gladiator.
Morgan Freeman is God.
Oh.
Morgan Freeman also in. Well, let's just watch this for a second. See what could have.
People said Lupita wasn't the right Helen, so Universal went back and found someone you don't talk back to.
Do I look like a motherfucking Greek to you?
Helen, come away with me to Troy. Aphrodite herself has promised you to me.
Say promised again. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say promise one more goddamn time.
I have a boat.
Well, why the fuck didn't you lead with that? It's hot as hell in Sparta!
In Troy, do you know what they call you? The most beautiful woman in the world.
You got about 3 seconds to get your hand off my shoulder before I introduce it to the bottom of the Aegean Sea.
I'm sorry, I'm just...
2! The Trojans took my wife! Gather every king in Greece! Launch every ship we have!
10 years. 50,000 dead for you? I came to see what 1,000 ships die for.
Oh, you came to look. Get in line with the other 1,000, baby.
Y'all just gonna roll this shit in? A giant horse? From the motherfuckers who've been trying to kill us for 10 years?
All right. Okay, we can put that aside.
Guys,
at least we're having fun with it. We're having fun.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Please.
Do you think that there were black people in Greece? Ancient Greece?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There were all kinds of black people.
Do you think they were of high status?
Well, they were warriors. They were merchants. They were, high status. What do you mean by that?
I mean, not slaves forced to fight in the armies or be service people. Do you think they were of high status?
They were part of Xerxes' invasion force?
Yes, because they were forced to fight after they were conquered.
Well, I'm just saying that what black people were conquered. There were black people from Libya. There were black people from Egypt. I really think that a lot of this, it just bothers me. And everyone's calling me some crazy leftist now. Fuck off. Fuck the left.
Because you're acting obtuse on purpose. I'm
not acting obtuse on purpose. I'm acting like you people are acting like you're historical scholars of a period of time where you're just not.
Okay.
You have to look into this. No, I don't know.
Oh, well, why are you arguing for it if you don't know?
I'm arguing in that we're arguing as if we all know, like, you guys are talking like you're all historical fucking scholars about a fantasy, which I don't get. I don't understand. Hollywood has 100 years of looking into ancient worlds and giving us mythology.
We just explained it to you. 10 years of constant race swaps, all of that.
Well, that's
the double standard.
That's a different thing, which I totally agree with.
The double standard.
I think that is the point. This film does not exist in a vacuum. It exists in a trend that's been going through that's been going through hospital. So when Lupita Nyong'o is cast as Athena, well, of course she is, because every movie has to have something like that in it. It's not organic to the story. It's something you always have to do.
No, it's Zendaya as Athena.
Oh yeah,
twins.
Right, but that's the point. So I got it wrong. But it's like it's just.
But you're acting. Wait a minute.
Trend
Athena is a goddess. She's a god. She's not real. She wasn't a person.
No. It's not about. Look, if this was the only story out there that there was a race swap in, but that would be one thing. But when it's one movie after the next, 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 that's when the problem comes in, and that's when people just.
I agree. I am the first guy to be tired of all this. Anne Boleyn was not a black woman.
Right.
I understand.
We are tired of this.
But on the other hand, I would also say you have to give filmmakers a little bit, like when Frank Darabont cast Morgan Freeman as Red in Shawshank Redemption, that character in Stephen King's story was written as an Irish white guy. Now, when Frank Darabont said, you know what? No one's going to play this role better than Morgan Freeman.
That's a Stephen King book, though, not mythology.
But
for the whole culture.
Also, there wasn't a string of movies beforehand.
Correct. That's
that they were
20 plus years
swapping
ago.
over and over and over and over and over again.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I would say you got to let a filmmaker when he's dealing with. I mean, I don't know.
I don't have to do anything.
She's a goddess. Athena's a goddess.
Yeah, this is Christopher Nolan.
Well,
and I get it.
The goddess of Mount Olympus.
Well, that was my point. Was that I don't think I made it well, but my point was Zendaya looks more like Athena when she's on the red carpet. Like she's
right.
She's
I agree.
beautiful. She's dressed up. She's wearing makeup. I don't know. And I feel like they keep making her look exactly the same in every single role. I want to see her at least have a style in this style, but she seems like she's just the same in every role she is. That's the point I was making before that. I feel like she could easily go into Doom Part 3 wearing what she was and having the makeup that she, or lack of makeup that she had on. I wanted her to live in this world and have that. But the style, I just not a fan of the style, what I'm seeing so far. It's gritty and gray. And it's just my expectations.
It's just kind of more like what that world would be, though. I mean, look.
I don't know. It's
these aren't gods that were worshipped by the entire world. These are Greek gods, a representative of the Greek people who were envisioned by the Greek people who saw them as they saw themselves.
Well, I agree with that. So, but I mean,
so the fact that you would say that they are black just completely shocks me. That
Zendaya's not just black. I mean, she's mixed race.
What the fuck are we doing?
I mean, you guys, I think of the Greek gods as looking like fucking Ursula Andress and Laurence Olivier from Clash of the Titans. That's how, when I think of the Greek gods, that's how I envision them, as white British or European actors, to be fair.
And I bet you the Greeks felt the same way, too.
Well, but I don't think
Jennifer Aniston, maybe, I mean, she's Greek, right?
But I just think that this whole conversation is a little weird. Because the ancient world was a little bit more diverse than what we think of it as being, because it was much smaller. We still think of like Greece was some hermetically sealed white community.
Right.
No, it was not.
Again, this is only weird if this was the only film to have done this, but we're
exactly.
It keeps going on, and this won't be the last movie that does it either.
I mean, it is interesting considering even the Greek people have a problem with this movie.
Well, that's
an open letter
casting
to
the same
Nolan
handful of
this
people.
movie.
Yeah, I don't like Anne Hathaway either. Like her Botox and her trying to emote through Botox is distracting. Again, I can't get immersed when I can see your struggle to have a brow when you're trying to be upset about something. And I just think, besides, if you're an actor, you should not think about not doing that because you need emoting is like the job. It's more than just the, I guess, diversity.
Well,
I think the whole entire cast I'm not into.
Well, with the immersion, it's like, oh, well, I'm about to see half of the main cast of this movie in another movie in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Like this is another thing of not like.
Yeah, but that's what actors do. I mean,
like
they gotta
be fair.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's one of those Nolan kind of not reading the room of like, I know that some of these are people that you regularly work with or whatever, but it's like,
yeah, but if somebody gives you hundreds of millions of dollars to make a movie, you only have a very small pool of actors you can draw from.
But on the props, the costumes, I mean, there's just so many things. It's a lot of little things and several big things.
On the plus side, no Pedro Pascal. But someone answered the question, what if the Odyssey was cast with Greek actors? Oh, no. This short video, you may have seen this. They went through the cast and found some actors that are actually Greek. We'll go through this. I can't pronounce these names, although Tassos Nosias as Odysseus. He looks pretty good. He could be an Odysseus. Okay. And by the way, next week, George the Giant Slayer will join us on the show. So we'll have an actual Greek. I'm going to mute the music here. But these are actual Greek actors. Tom Holland, Telemachus, and you've got Anastasios. I missed that.
I think this has proved that for everybody that's complaining we didn't use Greek actors or they didn't use Greek actors, that they're interchangeable with the actors that were used. So what does it matter?
Oh,
well, they could
interchangeable with Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole different thing. Zendaya is Athena, and we could have had Athena, Maximo.
Bags under
someone
our
actually
eyes.
named Athena. I mean, but look at these.
And
actors.
who would have gone to see the movie with these Greek actors in it?
Christopher
I
Nolan
would've.
fans.
Chris Nolan directed it.
fans, which is a
I'm
lot.
in theaters. Yeah.
Probably a lot
Yeah.
more than it's going to
These
see
kids
this
are
one.
good. Who can speak?
If anybody
Greek
can pull that off, it's Nolan. Like,
Should
Lazarus,
Athena have
Georgia
bags
Kaufman.
under her eyes? That's all I'm saying. Just
Anyways, these actors look great. I think they could have really worked when you look at these are they're not. I don't recognize these Greek actors, but they look very suited to the role. So look at this.
Yeah, but no studio is going to give you $200 million to make a movie star.
They will
Not
if
to
it's Nolan.
anybody. To Chris Nolan, I would say.
They will if it's Nolan.
And and
Well,
A, do they
not-
still look like this? And B, can they act?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know what this is. Just this kind of proves a point of like, well, there are Greek actors out there that could fill these roles, and I think there could have been some effort to get some Greeks in the movie, even if they're some bit parts. Sure, I know. Look, you got to get stars to get box office, sure, but it's such a huge cast. There could have been room. Just
how much of the budget was going to the cast?
By the way, Chris, people are saying you should kick me off.
Why?
Show.
I love having you here.
No, it's okay.
I'm not
I
doing
understand.
that.
I'm like, did anybody watch movies growing up?
Well, here's the thing.
John
I
Wayne
think
played
that-
Genghis Khan.
I think this is
Rob's
a conversation
point is
that we have about a lot of movies. We have speculations about a lot of movies. We have conversations about a lot of movies. What is the difference between a movie like James Gunn's Superman and this one, where we just talk about it, and nobody ever says like, "Well, just go wait and see the movie. You never know. It might be." We have all of these conversations beforehand, anyways, regardless of what movie it is. These conversations happen.
We've explained what the issue is.
Of
We're fans and also customers of these movies.
Yes,
and yeah,
at the
we're
end of the
gonna
day,
have
customers.
opinions. And I love all this though. I love for everyone to have their own opinion. And I don't like when some people are just making personal attacks and trying to silence an opinion that they don't agree with. I feel like we all should be able to say our piece and disagree. But that's part of fandom, and that's part of being this potential customer. We react to the things that the marketing is showing us. That's just how it is. If they didn't want our reactions, they wouldn't put this out there. We're the ones that they're marketing to. So, and naturally we're going to say what we think about it. And I think that it should be valuable information, it's market research. If you want to know the pulse of the audience, the potential audience, what customers are thinking, I would think that they wouldn't want to, silence that it's all valuable data at the end of the day. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
By the way, someone asked if I was drinking. Yes, I am.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Spice liquor.
That explains
Spice liquor.
everything.
Well,
They just came.
I don't
out-
want that to negate my combative point of view, though.
No,
Just so you're saying.
No, that's conviction in a bottle. That's what
I love it. But look, I love diversity of opinion. This is no different. The conversation we're having now, well, it's kind of different. We would have many passionate discussions at San Diego Comic-Con. I love it. I love that kind of passion.
But
go ahead, Rob. But
I just want to be clear.
Yes.
I mean, I think if anyone watches my YouTube channel, I have been railing against what I call fraudulent storytelling for years now.
Yeah.
And I think we have been shoved down tons of fraudulent storytelling, race swaps, bullshit canonical changes, all kinds of things. I've been railing against fraudulent storytelling for years. In the case of the Odyssey, I'm willing to make an exception only because I've grown up watching all kinds of mythological stories on film. Ben-Hur being one, Jason the Argonauts, Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. We've had a lot of fantasy or mythological tales made by Hollywood since, for 100 years, where we only had Hollywood actors. They didn't have the diversity of actors. So I'm willing to give this movie a chance. Now, I'm not saying do Do I think it's all proper? No. But in this particular case, this one particular case, I'm willing to wait and see. And I think that's the only point that I would like to make, is that I'm willing to wait and see. And I'm seeing it 2:00 on Thursday.
Yeah. And I would give some pushback and say that because this is a mythological story that has to do with the culture of the Greek people, these race swaps shouldn't have happened. And I don't like it because you've seen race swaps with actual figures in history happen. And they've been doing this and calling it like a real thing. Like, this is how it was. This is just how it was. She could have been this way because there's no clear description of, this character or whatever. And so they do race swaps with historical figures. And so that's why, like, with this movie, this is a cultural movie that should have been depicted a certain way.
I agree with that.
Someone sent me this clip. I don't even know what this is. I haven't seen it.
I learned as a man you have to carry a wallet, not a purse. You can carry a merce, but not a purse. And when you want a good cry, you can't watch Broadway. Also, I have to ignore all the obvious variation between scarlet, ruby, and crimson.
Yeah.
Men like us have to pretend we can't tell the difference. Thanks, Karen. Today we discussed our
I apologize for that.
What are we seeing?
What? I don't even know what that was. Thanks for sending it.
Have we run out of things to say that we gotta keep showing?
I get DMs during the show. I don't know what. I thought we're not.
Okay, gotta vet those first.
But I do think that this movie is the result of a fatigue of hypocrisy when Polynesian culture is respected more than Greek culture, when of Western stories being co-opted. And, I guess my issue with it is that the more we do this, we're going to race swap Little Mermaid, this and that, and whatever. It prevents other stories from being told. Name your favorite African fairy tale. I try to. You can't do it because they don't make big movies like that. There is one coming, believe it or not, I believe from Alan. We were at CinemaCon, Rob, you too. Is it Paramount is putting out an African story that is actually authentic fairy tale with a big...
Musa?
What's it called?
Is it Mansa Musa? I know that Ryan Coogler was supposed to be working on a Mansa Musa film.
It's when you're constantly like, we're not going to do an authentic or a original story. We're gonna just race swap a story. That's lazy. But you could be telling new stories.
Well, there's the Children of Blood and Bone thing that's been in the news lately, which is based on it's a West African inspired fantasy series where the author says she will no longer speak to the actress who starred in The Acolyte.
And why is that,
there's a
Robert?
reason for that. Why is that?
Yeah, why is that, Robert?
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, it's because she's not dark-skinned enough.
She's not dark-skinned enough, and the book is about colorism and all of that. And so the main character that Amanda Stenberg is playing, she should be played by a really dark-skinned person.
So when she said that, and that the original thing was inspired by her.
Yes, she was inspired by Amanda in her Hunger Games role as Rue.
Yeah. So again, mythology only matters when it's theirs. When it's ours, it doesn't matter. It's fantasy. Who cares? It's not real. Where's the line? Where are the standards? I understand you're giving Nolan his one pass. Many of us are not.
Oh, I can understand that, but it's not like this story is historical in terms of its account of things that actually happened.
Sure. I've been told we have a lot of chat comments, super chat comments.
63 of them.
Oh shit!
I bet they all hate me now.
Yeah, and we've also
as long as there's super chats attached to them.
That's right. I mean, I'm here to draw that. Yeah.
I've got more news stories here. We're gonna go through these quick, and we may have to do a square up. We've never done that in the history of Film Thread. Thank you. Let's start from the top down. We'll go.
Darth for $4.99. Thanks for saving my wife and I money at the movies with these reviews. I feel like from 2004 to 2019, I saw 10 films a year. Now I'm careful. Love the show.
Thank you, Darth. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Albert for 10. Hail Steph, High Priestess of the Cult of Spicy, Slayer of She-Hulks, Destroyer of the Coven on The View, Crusher of Trendy Bimbos, Bane of Zegler, Smasher of Lively, and Alcock's Kryptonite. Who's next?
John Leguizamo has been in my crosshairs lately.
Oh, dude.
Oh, wow.
Naveen for an 18-month message. Only the Odyssey and Spider-Man can save the box office now.
Yeah, it's been a disappointing summer. We were talking earlier, Rob. It's like the summer of suck. Everything's been a disappointment.
Thundercats for 2. Cookies. New Avatar makes her nerdiest cookies.
Nerdicious. Oh my God.
Nerdicious, yeah.
Thank you.
Your Army for 2. Song of the South still needs a live action remake.
I'd actually pay good money to see that.
I have a bootleg copy on DVD.
Me too.
I love that movie as a kid. I don't know why suddenly it's considered racist.
It won 2 Academy Awards.
It's terrible.
One of them was politicked by Walt Disney himself, though.
Yeah.
There was no voting on that one.
Ridiculous.
Pilgrim Media for 5. Forget about theaters. These movies aren't worth stealing.
Yes. They're not.
Albert for another 10. Since I saw the trailer for Thor Love and Thunder a few years back, I haven't had any interest to see anything new. The last recent stuff was Cobra Kai season 6 and that Elvis concert documentary Epic.
Love and Thunder has an Aussie as a fucking Zeus. Come on. Wasn't it Greek?
Doc Possum for 5. I would pay to see a live action version of Heavy Metal.
Now that would be cool.
Yo.
I love that movie as a
And you
kid.
can race swap the hell out of that one too.
Right.
I'm Den of Earth. I love that.
One Punch Fan for 3. Please sing it, please, Elaine. Hashtag.
Save Stargate. what's the melody?
Okay. Thank you, Elaine. That's great.
Save Stargate now.
Yeah. Mo Sislak for $4.99. People complained about Heath Ledger for 2 seconds, if that, and it was for different reasons. It's apples and oranges.
Yeah, I think Al and I are seeing the movie in 3.5 hours, and we'll get out of the theater in 3.5 hours and post out of the theater review if we're able to. Not sure what the embargo is, and we'll let you know. You're right. And I remember Michael Keaton as Batman. You probably remember that everyone what Mr. Mom is playing Batman, and then the movie came out and nobody cared.
Yep.
Nobody cared. So there you go.
Now I know the name for 5. All hail to Sam Neill, who sadly passed away.
Oh, yeah.
No replacements on the horizon for such kind of actors.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yep.
We're losing the great actors and no one can replace them.
That was such a gut punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Logan for 5. My prediction: Odyssey makes somewhere between 600 to 700 million, which is a bomb in my eyes. This film should have made $1 billion easy. Your guys' prediction?
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll get there. 600-700 for sure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's easy. It could also, in a week after we've all seen it, not matter, and it makes over $1 billion.
True.
I mean, Oppenheimer. I had no interest in seeing a biopic about Oppenheimer until I knew Nolan was making it. So
I mean, to get to $1 billion, it's repeat viewing, and that means it has to be a good movie.
Yeah,
simple as that. If it's a good movie, people will see it again, and it'll make $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Albert for another 10. What I'm tired of are folks like Jeremy and Ryan claiming Lupita Nyong'o isn't attractive enough. If there was an African equivalent to Helen in African myth, Lupita would be my pick.
I think she's stunning.
Yeah, no lies there.
Yeah, I think she is like what you can't deny that. That's crazy.
Incredible face.
Yeah.
Albert for another 20. Jeremy is extremely hypocritical when it comes to race swapping, as he had no issue with Jessica Alba playing blonde hair, blue-eyed Caucasian as Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four film. It should have been Alicia Cuthbert.
Well, according to Jessica Alba's DNA tests, she's white.
And thank you for sending your soups here for Jeremy. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Keep doing that. I support that.
Now the name for 5. Random recommendation, Blake's 7. BBC sci-fi from 1978 to 81. So good. I would go so far as having a gap in pop culture education, not having watched it. Wow.
100%. And the new Blu-rays, they've done new visual effects. They've actually shot them using miniatures, which are very cool. It is an incredibly great show.
Albert for another 5. As always, all my super chats are regarding President Trump, and you brought it on your own self, Alan.
Thanks, Albert. I appreciate it.
Mo for another $4.99. There's a difference between elevating the material via interpretation and subversion for modern sensibilities, Rob. No disrespect. I hope it's good.
And I like Rob being a contrarian. I think we're all skeptical. And Rob's probably the most open-minded.
It would be boring if we'd all had the same opinion.
Fingers crossed. Look, if it sucks, I'll be the first person to go, this sucks, like I did with Supergirl.
Yeah.
Right. I hope it's good. We're going to be sitting there for like 3 hours.
Thank you. I don't know. Yeah, I'll still be in post-orgasm after seeing that Dune 3 footage again.
Yeah. Show up early.
Tay for 2. Sup?
Hey, thanks, Tay.
The Rumble rant for 3. Alan's bust looks like Daniel Lee Kim.
There's the real Alan.
There's Daniel Day Kim.
You don't need a bust. There you go.
Wraith for 5. The people complaining about Nolan casting Lupita to play Helen of Troy didn't complain when Nolan cast Liam. I'm assuming he meant to play Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
No, they brought it up. People talk about it.
And why would we complain? Ra's al Ghul looks exactly like fucking Liam Neeson.
With makeup. Once he got the makeup on, he was fine.
Mo Sislak for $4.99. It was literally inspired by the era in which it was created. This is logic set in the Kurtzman Trek universe.
Oh.
I know people complain about Danny Rand being cast as a white man by a white man.
Yeah. By the way, people did complain when they thought Ken Watanabe was Ra's al Ghul, even though it was a red herring in Batman Begins.
But that was great. I thought that twist was excellent.
Yeah.
John Wayne for 20. In my humble opinion, Christopher Nolan comes off as so pretentious, arrogant, and so far up his own rear end that he broke every single bone in his body and has eaten his own brains out. A living, breathing Ouroboros, if you will.
By the way, sent to us by John Wayne, 1985, the actor who played Genghis Khan. I just want to point that out.
Ironic.
Right.
That's ironic.
Because nothing's changed since then.
Not
Albert
since
for
Mickey
20.
Rooney did.
Albert for another 20. Lupita Nyong'o did not participate in The Woman King due to her discomfort with the role and historical context surrounding the tribe and their involvement in the slave trade. Stop misrepresenting her reasons.
Yeah, I mean, the real story is of The Woman King. They touch on it, but they don't go deep at all.
Yeah. Naveen for 100 rubies. I love Nolan, but I will say this. If he tried to make an Indian epic like Mahabharat or Ramayana with white or black actors, I'd be pissed too.
That's right. Ramayana's coming, right? That's coming soon.
Hamina.
Rated M for $4.99. Love you, Robert, but you take offense to smaller changes in 60-year-old fictional Star Trek than 2,700-year-old Greek historical fiction. Why is it worth less?
No, because you can watch Star Trek and see the Odyssey and the Iliad are stories that were first oral tradition, then written down, then passed along for thousands of years. It's not the same thing at all.
Okay.
The Last Boy Scout became a YouTube member. Andrew Cram for 10. Was Robin from the Hood a fair adaptation of the Robin Hood story?
Well, you know what's so fun? I mean, it was set present day. It's fine. We've seen like a couple people brought up Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. Like that's when you're doing, or even let's talk The Wiz. Right, I love The Wiz. When it's something that's very different by design, they do it in present era, or they add music or make it. I think Robin in the Hood was not a very good show, but they had ideas, and I mean it didn't work, but it took a big swing. The Wiz works as its own thing, and I remember as a kid not being I never even thought to be offended. Because Michael Jackson and Diana Ross were in it. And it was, I don't know.
I think Clueless is a wonderful interpretation of Emma, Jane Austen's Emma.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's all set up for the story. Like it just fits the way they interpreted it and you could tell that the love for the basic source material was there.
But thank you, Andrew. Robin from the Hood was terrible. I think I watched like one episode. It was god awful. But it's fine to try stuff like that. Or like Brother, We're Out There.
Pilgrim Media for 2. Who got the Oh Brother, We're Out There is the Odyssey. Yeah, no, I see a lot of people say that. Oh Brother, We're Out There.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. That movie's phenomenal.
Wraith for 5. Rainey's Hercules TV series wasn't faithful to the Greek myths and didn't cast Greek actors and had people of color in roles, and no one complained.
I think that was a different era where I think the castings that are happening now they have some political motivation, and that may be about winning awards, and people are offended by it. And some of the reviews I've read already of the Odyssey are saying that there was no reason for Lupita. She barely does anything in the movie. Like she just isn't really. So why did you cast her? Like it's controversial to do it. So what's the point? And the point is because the Oscars changed their rules. So I think that's why people are offended. And
I don't know if you knew this, but Disney's Mulan was not cast by all Chinese actors.
Yeah, true. Yeah. The original cartoon. The original cartoon is really, I thought, really good.
That's what I'm talking about. The original cartoon.
The live action is not great.
It's pretty awful.
Yeah.
You're barring me for 5. Sometimes Robert says really dumb shit. We all say
no. He says
sometimes.
rally dumb shit because that guy can't spell. Fuck you. Fuck you. I mean, seriously, if you're gonna say dumb shit, learn to fucking spell.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
give me at least that.
You walked into that, your B Army.
Carl Anderson for 2. I love you, Rob, but no director has my trust now. Yeah, no director has his trust now.
Yeah, well, I just think it's in current day. People have fatigue from this. Is that? Would you say, Steph? You're very connected.
I think it's just Hollywood in general. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
Hollywood in general. That's why it doesn't matter what director it is. It really doesn't. At least to me, right? Everybody else can feel differently, but it doesn't matter. I think it's Hollywood in general. So Christopher Nolan is a part of Hollywood. Hollywood in general. And in fact, I believe he's like isn't he like the head of all directors or something like that? In Hollywood,
he's the head of the DGA.
Yeah. The directors go. That's right. So yeah, I think it's Hollywood in general that people are just sick of it. And when you see it's a pattern of behavior, a pattern of casting, all this stuff, people are just sick of it. And all of these, it's the point I made before. Like, if it was something different, like a reinterpretation of it, then that would be something completely different. I don't think these conversations would be happening, but it's because Christopher Nolan has said we're trying to stay authentic to the text, as close to the text as possible. And then you make all of these weird decisions. That's why these conversations are happening. Because he's touting this off like it is history, like they are staying true to the text when they're not.
I am Kevin for 5. It may be a comedy like Robin Hood Men in Tights with the rapping narration. Yeah.
I don't think so, but yeah, that's a different thing. Again,
The A Serious Man for 28 months. We was gods, dog. Yeah.
Thanks, A Serious Man. Appreciate you.
Brock Samsonite, member for 25 months. If you thought Heath Ledger wasn't going to be a good Joker before you saw his performance, you need to chill. Nolan already proved his ability.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
Roger Sam for 5. R&B, because I'm broke and can afford one movie ticket this month. I want to go where I'm loved. I don't want to finance my hater. That's the value.
Yep.
Okay.
Pilgrim Media for 2. Anyone for a Shaka Zulu movie, but all white actors. That's all fictional, so who cares, right?
Actually, it's not fictional.
It's not.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Mo Sislak for $4.99. Let's not mistake John Wayne playing you-know-who for Ben-Hur and Heston. One was silly, the other wasn't. Nolan is being silly, but why?
I don't think Nolan's being silly. I think he's I mean, I don't know. When we see it, does it work? You'll know. If you're caught up in it, if you're caught up in the story, but if it's distracting, my biggest thing is maybe Travis Scott might be a mistake. So
The Serious Man for 5 saw 10 Commandments a million times, and Baxter Nefertiti was my first crush. Never watched Ben/She Her.
Oh.
Tay-Tay just gives $1.
Oh, thanks, Tay-Tay.
Security G for 5. Well, those gods derived from Noah's time as fallen angels. They convened on top of Mount Hermon, which was renamed as Mount Olympus to the Greeks.
Nice.
Andrew Cram for 10. Does white European culture have value?
I mean, this movie is provoking this discussion.
Yes.
I would say yes, it does.
Yeah. But it seems the only stories where it's okay to do are Western stories.
Austrian stories for 2. R&B fails the ethos of Greco-Roman mythology.
What is that? What is the ethos of Greco-Roman? What have I failed? Have I failed anything? I'm just talking about a movie, man.
Yeah.
The Serious Man for 2. Oliver was the best Othello. Olivier, rather.
Close enough.
John Wayne for 5. Like Robert, Jeremy Griggs of Geeks and Gamers also believes that the Odyssey is going to be a massive success. Jeremy and Robert sitting in the tree.
Can I say something about that? Jeremy once reached out to me years ago and asked me to come on his show. And we streamed together. And he treated me with such great respect. We had a great show together. So, yeah, I will sit in a tree with Jeremy and maybe even kiss him on the cheek.
Wow.
How about that?
I'm sure he'd love it.
Great.
Yeah, he would.
Naveen for 200. And to R&B's point, I remember Avatar creators taking all the Indian spiritual concepts and making it East Asian in the animated show. And people to this day think it's East Asian, so these things do matter.
Okay.
So they should read books and find out what the real story is.
Joe for 20. That initial bad photo of the Helen actress making her look super ugly really offended people. The sheer gaslighting of simultaneously race swapping and making her ugly.
I don't know. Might have been a bad still. I don't know.
It was from 12 Years a Slave, so she wasn't exactly going to be dolled.
But that wasn't from the movie. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mo for another $4.99. Rob, why Lupita? Why not Laura Harrier or Logan Browning or anyone hot? It's like Nolan doubled down on a race swap plus someone who doesn't fit.
I happen to think Lupita Nyong'o is in fact hot. I don't, call me crazy. So it's all about a preference. I don't know what you're saying. Like, what are you coming to me for? I mean, Lupita Nyong'o has already proven herself. There's no reason for me to have to defend her. But you know what? I wouldn't kick her out of bed.
Rob, you should do a stream tonight about this.
Darth Galen Merrick for $4.99. I watched Badger talk Acolyte with Star Wars Theory and never seen him this heated. Laugh out loud. Badger is great. Do you guys think theaters die in 20 to 30 years or no?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully no, but it's going to be smaller.
Yeah.
Theaters are going to be smaller, and it's going to be people go to the movies less frequently.
Unless they keep making stuff that Gen Z likes, like Backrooms and Obsession, and keeps getting them
and
back in the
should.
theater. Like
they should.
They need to get their shit together.
Red Letter Media just did a whole episode on memes that could end up being actual movies. People are tired of, franchise slop.
Albert for another 10. Robert Meyer Burnett has been busted as a Marxist. By the way, Greeks created their pantheon to explain things they didn't understand. Nobody is pulling the sun across the sky with a chariot.
Well, I saw Gods of Egypt by Alex Proyas, and that isn't true. Jeffrey Wright was pulling the sun across the sky in a chariot, and calling me a Marxist is the most absurd thing. Fuck the socialists. Fuck you, young communists. I don't believe in any of it. So go fuck yourself.
Yeah. I've been watching Rob. He's definitely not.
You don't even know what Marxism is. Come on. Not you, Chris. This guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And Trump would agree with you, by the way.
Robot Dues for $9.99. R&B, I love you. I respectfully disagree on this one. Mythology is the distillation of one's culture, not the exceptions. A gods would be the epitome of their culture and the epitome of their beauty.
So what is the mythology of a culture that is 2,000 years old? I mean, that was the mythology of the Greek culture at that time. That culture changes, evolves. That mythology sometimes falls out of favor, is sometimes replaced. How does that work? What does Greek mythology mean to Greece today?
Well, clearly they want the original interpretation, which is why they're so upsetty spaghetti.
Yeah. And what is the original interpretation?
The fucking original book, perhaps not done by Emily Watson's
Wait. What book? What
Iliad?
original book? Is there the original like Dungeon Master Guide? The what is it? The Monster Manual that TSR put out for Dungeons and Dragons for Greek mythology? Is there an original book that tells us about Greek mythology?
Are we pretending to not understand that there are depictions and people just like the original versions, which they've agreed upon? The original.
I'm asking you a serious question. What is that original version? Where does it come from? Point me to it. I would love to read it.
Okay.
It doesn't exist. There is no original interpretation. To say that there is not factually accurate. I'm just saying.
By the way, today's show is sponsored by Godzilla -1 whiskey from Shinra, going on sale, shipping in October. And Rob is drinking it now, I think.
I am not, but when you say that there's some, it's really irksome when you say that there is some original depiction of Greek mythology. When there is, like, it wasn't like somebody wrote down a book that is like a Dungeon Master's Guide to the Gods. It is a collective pantheon of stories written over decades, if not centuries, about people that don't exist.
But I can tell you, as someone who studied this in elementary, junior high, and high school, it was definitely in my mind it was Greek. And that this was part of Greek culture, and that
of course,
that
but
these gods look like the Greeks of that time, and not the one-offs that maybe there was a visitor from Africa walking amongst them.
I'm not saying that, but Badger was just saying that he wanted the original depiction of these
the
gods.
Fucking original poem, Robert. Let's not act like you don't know what I'm saying.
I do know, but what original poem? What original translation? The story of the Iliad and the Odyssey was an oral story that was passed down. It wasn't something that was written down. They don't even know if a Homer actually existed. This is what I'm saying.
All of these talking points are they're really infuriating. They are being thrown around on Twitter in defense of all of this, of all of the things that Nolan has chosen to do with this movie, and passed down by who? Passed down by the Greeks. And I think that if the Greeks are disrespected, that should have a little bit of weight.
Okay.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. But we're talking thousands of years. I mean,
yeah, but it's their culture. I'm not going to step in and say Greeks. You can't feel any sort of way about your own culture. This is not my culture. I'm not Greek, so I'm just going to defer to the Greeks. And if they're pissed, okay, that's how I.
Yeah. Let me just look. When I'll go back to Disney's Mulan, the animated feature. That movie was made by a lot of white people. The music was written by white people. The stories were written by white people. But the thing is, they respected the culture. They respected the story. They worked real hard to make it feel like this was a Chinese tale, and somehow they succeeded in doing that. Even though very few Chinese were actually involved in the creation of it, it's possible to do these things. It's possible for white people to actually take the cultural backgrounds and the importance of it and bring it to stories. And I think that's what people are saying here.
Yeah, I get it. Like there might be a gray area, but if there's a gray area, just go back to the originals and hey, what do you guys think, Greeks? What do you guys think? And okay, this is how we see this particular situation. Like Nolan could have easily did that, but he just chose to do what he wanted to do, but he could have easily just said, let me just talk to Greek historians and people in that culture and let me find out what they think. And then we're just going to defer to that, and that would have been the easiest thing that he could have done. And he would have avoided all of this nonsense. Okay. In this conversation about the Odyssey, he would have avoided all of this, but this is what Hollywood wants to do. They want to do what they want to do instead of doing what some folks would, again, talking about culture, talking about history, talking about mythology. You want to pay respect to that. It's not just, no, you can just do whatever we want. I don't think you do that with culture.
And I do find it like kind of offensive that some cultures are respected and others aren't. And I think that this is an inherent anti-white thing going on throughout Hollywood right now. They will respect other cultures. They will respect Polynesian cultures with Moana. They will respect other movies and praise it as something to be featured in a movie, right? But when it comes to stories like white history, then we can change it. We can make Cleopatra was black, right? Because some lady's grandmother said that it was true. So now Cleopatra is black. We can make Anne Boleyn black. We can change white history because why? There's like an anti-white agenda that is happening right now, and it's infuriating. And for people to not respect those stories, to not respect that history, to not respect that culture, it should be insulting. And it should be talked about. But no, it is okay because it's white story, it's white culture. So we can just completely say that, oh, no, these people are actually here. Maybe we're going to change this a little bit in order to be more inclusive of history. And that's why this conversation is sort of happening right now, because you see all of these people being replaced, historical people being race swapped in movies and in television shows and even in biopics. Like they're being race swapped, and as if to say your culture doesn't matter, your history doesn't matter. And I think that is why people are having this conversation with Christopher Nolan's Odyssey. And to say it's just fiction or it's just fantasy, it's not. It's mythology, and mythology is is someone's culture. It's someone's It is someone's culture. It is Greek culture, and that should be respected. But why is it not being respected?
Yeah.
You don't think that spending $200 million on a movie like The Odyssey is respecting the fact that we have a story that was passed down for thousands of years? You don't think that's respecting the culture itself? That not the preservation of but isn't the preservation of this story by definition preserving the Greek myth that it is?
Well, I think that's what people want. They like when Nolan was first announced, the impression I was going to get was that this was going to be the definitive Odyssey.
Yeah,
that this is that story. But now it just feels like not only it's Nolan's version of the Odyssey, and it's taking a lot of this cultural mayhem that's going on in Hollywood right now, and to me, that's far from definitive. But again, I haven't seen the movie, so
I haven't either. So
we have a lot of soups here. Let's see if we can make a record for how many we can get through in 10 minutes. Go for it, Badger.
Graph web for 2. In the name of all that is holy, hashtag cancel Disney Plus. Robot Dews, member for 26 months. R&B is great. Love him despite disagreeing.
See, you're loved.
John Wayne for 20. Nobody on earth believes that Lupita Nyong'o was the best possible casting for Helen of Troy. She's not only the wrong color and ethnicity, but she's also the far lesser of the most attractive woman that launched 1,000 ships. Yeah, she's not even the most attractive one in the fucking movie, but she's not ugly.
Depends where you're coming from, though.
Retromeister for 20. I would say much like what happened with this year's Animal Farm, this is all about rewriting history from fictional to non-fictional stories into activist projects to continue to divide and conquer our culture from within.
A lot of people feel that way, and the evidence kind of I think people are justified in feeling this way because it's the culmination of more than a decade of this happening. That's what this movie represents.
Shlomo Joe for 10. Does anybody remember the backlash with the movie Gods of Egypt? Black people lost their minds over white gods. All of my black friends and people black I knew boycotted it. It's blatant hypocrisy.
Yeah.
But it's awesome.
Captain Scarlet for 2. Apocalypto showed you don't need a famous cast. Albert, not a retro for 5. John Wayne played Genghis Khan in The Conqueror, and it was a horrible movie. He also made that movie in the 60s or 70s. You pinko suck up. Oh,
what?
I wasn't saying that it was good that John Wayne.
Gods of Egypt, Wraith for 5. Gods of Egypt and Prince of Persia, cast mostly white actors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, people freaked out about Prince of Persia too.
I love
that.
Prince of Persia.
Oh yeah.
I know. I actually like the movie too.
Jake Gyllenhaal, he was getting heat.
I love. Well, it's
Ben
based on a
Kingsley.
game.
Yeah,
Based on a game, though.
But he looked like the prince in the game, so that's why people give it a pass. Torgo
Yeah.
the White for 5. I think Rob is high on this one, and we have multiple vectors of red flags to point to, but I appreciate him bringing the verses to verses.
Let's just say mainstream shows would not have disagreements like this on their show.
I think it's good that we have these disagreements.
I think it's good. It's
I'm
healthy.
just fighting for a filmmaker's right to do a filmmaker's job.
One Punch
And
Man
I
for
want
3.
that filmmaker to do his job.
Even though I don't agree with you on the Odyssey, I love having you on every time, Rob, and I respect your opinions, but sometimes it is fun to fight.
It is fun.
Well, I love Badger anyway, no matter what.
I love Robert too. No, it's we may
That's gonna be a
get
long
heated.
trip
but
to
that's-
San
I'm
Diego.
driving
That's all
him
I'm
to
saying.
San Diego.
That's
just because
right.
we both care about it. Bart and Bella for 5. Jackman, Aniston, Stamos, Theo James, Mina Suvari, Chastain, Costas Mandy, Lore, Angie Harmon, Billy Zane, etc. All Greek.
Yeah, they could have been in the movie.
Most Sislak for $4.99. Rob, you've convinced me. Coleman Domingo should totally play Oscar Schindler next. We still love you, Rob.
But if that's what you think I'm trying to argue for, you've missed the point.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's not what I'm trying to do.
Strong opinions
But that
for
would
2.
be awesome.
R.I.P. Sam Neill.
Sam Neill.
Yeah. Royston S. Bailey for 6. Matt D doesn't look like a person from the Levant. Matt Damon. No. Alex for just became a member. Shout out, Alex.
Thank you.
Andy Likes Stuff channel for 2. R&B is a legend.
Yes.
In my own mind.
Yeah.
Well,
Box Office Brawler for $1.99. Shout out. 3 cheers to the great minds of verses.
oh, thank you.
Hail.
Figs for 5. I will rip my clothes off while watching the Odyssey at the theater and scream at the top of my lungs.
Well, film it and you can
Yeah.
go viral.
What theater are you going to be in? I'll go.
So I assume you're taking a date.
Right.
One Punch Fan for 3. Elaine, you have the best bust.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh.
Sharon, member for 7 months. We know what Romans looked like from statue recreations.
Yeah, but they could have been black. They just didn't
Yeah.
have black marble at the time.
Right.
Because artists never, did things that were like idealized versions. Are they supposed to look like the everyman? I think other people. Well, if you look at David, there's one thing about the statue of David I wish was a little different.
Bigger penis.
Bigger dick.
Yeah.
Actually, the statue in Doom Part 3 of the huge Giga Chad statue of Paul Atreides does not look like Timothée Chalamet. Very interesting.
But that's a great statue. Though.
I like
Cheap.
it though. I think that's cool.
Let's-
That's an interesting
we-
tidbit.
We got to get through these. So let's
Speed
go.
run.
Jan Hugh gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Shout out.
Thank you.
Albert for 5. No problem, Sir Chris of Gore. Better you get money than Jeremy, aka he who swallows for the orange devil. Ooh.
Yeah, thanks, Albert. Yeah, bring it here.
Jason
D-Day
Nelson for 2.
Corbra.
Happy 86th to Patrick Stewart and happy 84th to Harrison Ford. Well, and happy
Amazing.
birthday to Robert.
By the way, this rumor, breaking news, just dropped. Do we believe this? Do we believe this?
way.
Adam Driver reportedly cast as MCU's Magneto.
What's the
What?
source?
That's not
on that?
bad.
I don't
Not
hate
mad
it.
at it.
Where does comic book
Yeah.
movie get its source?
Comicbookmovie.com.
Yeah.
No, but what is their source?
Yeah.
How do they
I've
get
read
it?
the story. I just got the link.
That's probably my time.
Yeah,
to
but they
shine. Hello or
usually
something.
something that says according
It is my
to.
time to shine.
It is? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go. So,
Grain of
take
salt.
that with a lot of salt.
Okay.
The Alex Zorba for 10. I find it unforgivable that Nolan shat on the Greek people, our history, our culture, and our heritage for this mythical modern audience. I am very disappointed in people defending this malicious trash.
I think there'll be more credibility with people discussing it once we've all seen it.
Mhm.
Once we've seen it, then I think the arguments have more weight.
And we will have another theater reaction tonight.
This hyper praise from the critics too is like making me nervous because they're all just up this movie's ass already, and I'm just like, oh no.
I have read from some critics. I haven't read from a critic I actually respect yet.
Todd for $4.99. No come at me, bro, from Robert. Robert, very disappointed.
My come at me, bro, is always open. That's why I read letters from viewers. They can say whatever they want to me. I am completely an open book. I would have thought that I don't have to say come at me, bro, because it's been a philosophy of mine for years. So if you want to hear it, come at me, bro. Write me a letter. I'll read it live.
Besni Lala for 100 Martian pesos says, good evening to this distinguished assembly.
Thank you very much.
Franklin Sterling for 5. You want historical accuracy? Google image search Mycenaean armor Rob rules.
Okay, we should.
Royston S. Bailey for 6. Oppen in the film had a black female grad student.
Thanks, Royston. I don't know. I didn't notice that. So,
for a member of 4 months, Royston says, so Greeks, Russians, Irish are all the same race.
Well, yes, yeah, because we're all human. There's one
species.
Human
that would be
race.
Species.
Andy Miller for 5. Loopy equals bad. Morton equals nuts. Rob equals great. DEI equals shit. Wilson equals great. You should know I know history. Homer and England. Arthur and Robin were real, but not stories.
Rob, are you gonna get this whiskey?
You know what? I've been watching somebody's, I don't know if you guys have seen the Joe Rogan
Yeah, Joe Rogan podcast.
I don't know who's doing those, but they're great.
They're dumb,
and I want to watch those and drink this whiskey. And
Is that a real whiskey?
It looks really good.
Coming out,
I might get that.
It's like $150 a bottle.
I don't mind.
Japanese
I love a
whiskey's
good
really
whiskey.
good.
Yeah.
Can I get that guy with the samurai swords who cuts the ice to come to my house?
Oh, I love that video. I've watched
the greatest thing ever.
So many times. All right.
Besni again for another 100. The return with fines is Odysseus. Yes, check it.
It is the same story, by the way, as the Odyssey. That movie.
Doge Pal for 5. Know what's crazy? The 2019 Lion King movie was the first version that many Chinese people saw, and they loved the story. Quite a different perspective.
Well, Chinese love animals. That's why they're so drawn to Zootopia.
Yeah. Coach sipping Jamba Juice for 2. Eric Weber said he liked Odyssey.
I don't know how he saw it, but that's cool.
Miles Doodling for 5. After Dark Knight, the studio let Nolan loose. Then he made Inception. Studio's making him do the Odyssey so he can have free reign on his next film.
I don't think the studio makes Nolan do any movie.
Yeah.
The impetus of all of his projects come from him.
Yeah. Plus he switched studios on this one.
Yeah.
Royston for another 6. I want a series of SCP films with different actors.
Director,
excuse me. Yeah. Albert for 5. Some folks are claiming I'm a simp for Lupita Nyong'o. Wrong. I'm a simp for Steph. I simply speak the truth, and fools can't tell the difference.
Well, Steph, there you go.
Austrian Stories for 5. Yeah, the ethos of an ancient culture and metaphysics is something that can't be known and is relative. Rob, nice postmodern obfuscation.
Sure.
Well,
yeah. What's with the big words today?
Well, I understand the idea of the funny thing about that is I know people don't know me because they don't watch necessarily my channel, but I am not a postmodernist and I'm not interested in obfuscation. That's the funny thing. You can watch 1,000 episodes of my YouTube channel and figure that out.
The Alex Zorba member for 47 months. Jeez, it's a long time.
Thank you.
Didn't say anything. Just says he's a member still. Albert for 5. Marxism is I just said he didn't know what it was. Marxism is a social, political, and economic theory that analyzes society through class struggle and advocates for a classless, stateless society.
That's correct, and it doesn't work.
Klein dropper for 5. Earliest fragments written are from the 3rd century BC. First complete version is 3rd century AD.
A lot can happen in 600 years.
Yeah.
Spade for $4.99. In the 2004 Troy, the story wasn't accurate. Achilles didn't have a cousin die his lover, and they made Troy the good guys.
Thanks.
Sharon for 10. Nolan is disingenuous liar, wants real, spends massive money to lease/buy biggest Viking longboat to refit it, could have in Greece less money to film on real Triemi built by Hellenic Navy, the HS Olympus. Old Man Screaming at Screens for 5. Dungeons and Dragons for the win. Also, TSR put out Deities and Demigods, so there's your source book.
Nice. Well done.
Thanks.
Pilgrim Media for 2. Rob, you shall not pass.
Story of my life.
For $9.99. R&B, the point is that Anne Hathaway is prettier than Lupita Nyong'o in promoting photos. Not that she would get kicked out of bed. The most beautiful woman in all of Western civilization.
How about both?
There you are.
At the same time.
We just read for 5. Only some Africans were conquered, Nubians and Ethiopians, and most weren't. They were merchants and travelers. Grolgar for 5. So can I cast Samuel Jackson or Chris Rock as the Monkey King?
Sure. Why not?
Napski for 5. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
For a lot of things. Thank you.
Royston S. Bailey for another 30. Ancient Greeks were neither white nor European. They were bronze, and city-states included parts of southern Turkey, which is in Asia. Please read history.
See Asia.
There you go, Alan.
Royston for another 6. And still, Nolan is a fool for pissing people off.
I kind of like the fact that Nolan's in a bubble. He just like, I'm going to stay away. I'm going to make the movie I want to make. Because I think we've seen so many instances where big creative types have overreacted to reaction, right? Whether it's Zack Snyder's vision for the DC universe or James Gunn's vision for the DC universe. I think when we've seen hard pivots, it's not good. There was a hard pivot after Star Trek, the motion picture. There was a hard pivot. They went to Harv Bennett, a TV producer, to just make a cheaper version, a cheaper Star Trek movie. And that's Star Trek 2 is the most popular. I'm not saying it's the best, but anyways.
Mo for another $4.99. I think preserving it would be using Homer.
Yeah.
Mexican Iron Man for $9.99. Let me tell you this. I don't want the story of Cinco de Mayo and my people on the silver screen played by Jamie Foxx and Lupita. Just saying. Laugh out loud.
Oh, Mike, that is your right. Thanks, Mike. Good to hear from you.
Richard Craig for $1.99. Love you, Rob. When/where can I buy your book?
It's not ready yet. It'll be out on the 8th of September.
Yeah.
For real.
Awesome. Yeah. Get us a link, Rob. We'll put it in the description here so people can buy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
SE Kaiju for 2. We need the original African K-pop Demon Hunters.
It's A-pop, by the way.
Yeah.
At Security G for 2. Prince of Persia is a demon, not just a game.
I love that original game for the Mac of Prince of Persia.
C Black for $4.99. Don't remember Greek actors in Troy movie, and I loved it.
Yep. See?
John Wayne for another 5. Robert's not a communist. He's just an obtuse lib. Cut him some slack. I do give him credit for hanging out in the lion's den and holding his own.
I'm a classical liberal, if anything.
Yeah. I feel like I'm a classical liberal from the 90s.
Yeah.
But
which makes you alt-right.
Yeah, which in the present day
Right.
is not, it's not good.
Rated M for $4.99. The argument of it's an oral story could be applied to African oral stories. They respected the culture so much they didn't include them in the press tour.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Thoth, shout out. Member for 45 months. Thoth was black in Gods of Egypt. Chadwick Boseman. Yeah, He was.
Yep.
Albert, not a retro for 5. Regarding President Trump, the Chinese love animals. That's why they are so humane when preparing dog for dinner. Not.
Yeah, guess what? The Chinese eat chicken, they eat beef, they eat pork. The only difference is we don't walk those animals. We only walk dogs.
Salazar for $4.99. R.I.P. Sam Neill. I'll be watching the original Jurassic Park to pay tribute.
And by walk, I mean W-O-K.
Dr. Fauci's pardon prison butt for 5. Chris, please use another messaging service along with super chats. I literally can't send anything these days without violating YouTube terms of service. What are you trying to say?
Thanks,
Yeah,
Dr.
I think
Fauci.
Rumble. I think you can do it on Rumble.
You can do it on Rumble, or you can misspell certain words.
Yeah.
And we'll get the meaning. So
But
try
don't
to
be a
do that.
shathid about it.
Yeah, don't be
Yeah.
a shafid.
To Bobby's World for 5. Ahoy hoy, I will just look at it like this. This ain't Homer's Odyssey, but Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, an interpretation from a great storyteller.
And we're going to leave it there. I'm sorry. We had like 5 other news stories. I don't know where this went off the rails, but in a good way.
I apologize for that.
Oh, don't apologize for anything. Thanks for our mods, Lord Thoth, MK Solid, ADLs 24, Ololique on Rumble, and one last.
Spade for $4.99. Did people get pissed with the 90s Romeo and Juliet having a diverse cast? No.
But I think that was, you knew from the beginning that was a interpretation.
Yeah.
It's not trying to be classical.
It was in modern day.
It was a modern take, like The Wiz or whatever. Like, I like it. Oh, wait, did we lose Rob? Did we lose Rob?
No.
Okay.
Come
All
on.
right.
Guys.
All right. Okay. Next week on Versus, we will all have seen the Odyssey. We can speak with some authority. Later tonight, Alan and I are gonna see the Odyssey. We'll give you the out of the theater, and we'll talk about it on, I think, Wednesday, our full review. If not sooner, we'll see. And so we'll be back on Wednesday with Hollywood on the Rocks. Friday, our review, and a week from today, Versus, we'll be back. We should probably just make the whole show talking about the Odyssey. I think
Like this show?
Yeah, it's gonna get heated. So there you go. All the news stories we didn't get to, we'll do that Wednesday. It's gonna be a busy week, and then we got Comic-Con coming next week. And I think Angry Badger may be there. Rob, I know you'll be there on the Film Thread.
Well, Badger and I are going to be live streaming on the drive down.
Yeah, do it.
Nice. Oh, that's cool.
Do
I
it.
like it.
It'll be fun. And then Rob will be on the Film Threat Indie Filmmaker Survival Guide panel. That is going to be a lot of fun. And Alan and I are going to be doing signings at the 1705, the Big Man Comics booth. And we're on the road to 169,000. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go around the horn. Everyone, plug your channel as we wrap.
Everybody make sure to get on Criticless this week. I want legit reviews for this because I want to hear the actual consensus. So drop your review after you see the Odyssey. Get on Criticless and do that. And I'll be on Criticless Cast Thursday night seeing this around like 4 o'clock. So we're going to go live afterwards like these guys are. And I'm headed over to Monday Hangover on Drunk 3PO's channel right now.
Awesome. And we're going to look at that score too on Criticless next week.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Nerd Cookies here on YouTube, where I talk sci-fi and fantasy news and lore analysis. I have new videos on the channel giving my humble 2 cents on the Odyssey, as well as my attempt to break down Paul and Shawnee's complicated relationship in Doom Part 3. So make sure to check those out. Thank you.
Steph, my nerdy home, everywhere on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Come and hang out.
DA here, Nightcap Tuesdays and Thursday night. Thursday, obviously, we'll be talking about the Odyssey and breaking it down. So come hang out. It's late stream. All right, we start at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're up late overnight, you can always hang out with us. Thanks, Uris.
Awesome. Maybe I'll jump on, DA, if you send me a link.
Yeah, man, do that.
Hey, Rob Burnett over from the Burnett Work on YouTube, and I invite all of you to get my latest work, True Noir, The Assassination of Anton Cermak. You can get this now on CD or get it wherever you get your audio dramas from.
Audible, by the way.
produced and edited that. So check it out. You can hate me all you want. And if you do, I will be happy to listen to why. Come on over to my channel. Let's talk about it.
Are you going to do a late night stream tonight, Rob?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, good. I'll see you there.
Yeah, Alan. Hey, I feel bad we didn't get to talk about Moana and its lack of diversity. And hey, Chinese people existed in the Pacific Islands. What's up with that?
All right, that's it for us. Thank you to everyone.
And Badger Cast.
And Badger.
Okay, that's the last. Sorry.
Well, we will talk about Moana, and we're going to talk about the things we're hearing about who Scarlet is actually playing in Batman Part 2, and we're going to attempt to talk about the Lantern spoiler that I can't tell you what the spoiler is because people are getting copyright strikes and DMCA strikes across all of the platforms.
Really?
Because a certain Gal Gordon is not going to survive the first episode, and someone reported that, and everyone's getting struck for even talking about it.
So you just struck us.
Yeah, you said the thing.
Who's Gal Gordon? I don't know who Gal Gordon
copyright strike a fact?
It's abuse. It's for discussing. It's not even any. Yeah, it's a really
that's
insane.
crazy.
That's sad. That's
awesome.
Infringement on free speech there.
That's okay.
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
Okay. See you later tonight, Alan. I'm going to see you in a couple hours.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Alan.
Let's get out of here.